Today I share a true story from my life because it taught me so much. In the years 2009 to 2010, I took care of some of the members of my intimate family until they left this earth in 2010. When I came back home, of course I was very sad to have lost them, and I had to remember that they are just home in their new home, and we will be together again. Now, as I began my new life in my home, I was watching one morning, it was the very first morning, in fact, at 6 o'clock in the morning, the Bose radio that my mother had left to me turned itself on. It went on for 1 hour while the news was on, and at 7 o'clock it turned itself off. I hadn't touched a thing. Well, this was beyond a surprise. I was completely confused. This went on day in and day out. Every day the radio would turn on at 6 and turn on specifically the news, and every day it would turn off at 7. Of course, I had to say, what is going on? What is happening? And over time, I came to understand that it was my angels who were letting me know, you are not alone. We are with you. We are always with you. What a comforting thought, especially at this time when I had come back totally alone. And so that was the first lesson. Well, the radio has gone on doing this over 13 years till now. And now, the other day, as it turned itself on at 6, I was a little tired by 6:30 of hearing the news again. And so I thought, well, I'll turn it off. Well, this radio only works through remote control. So I picked up the remote and went to shut it off. It would not shut off. Interesting. I thought, well, okay, there's only one other way to turn it off, and that would be unplug it. So I did. Well, after a while, I plugged it back in again and tried to see if I could get to some other stations. Nope, nothing at all. Did I lose the radio? I don't know. Well, the next morning, I left it plugged in to see what would happen, and at 6 o'clock on the dot, it came back on to the news. Once again, the angels were saying, no matter what you do, we will be here, and we will help you and watch over you. 7 o'clock, it turned off. Another lesson. Now is a new lesson. We know the angels are there, we trust that, but now something else is happening. I have no control over the radio. It will turn itself on when it's been planned to do, and it will turn itself off. I cannot change anything. What was the lesson? Well, I thought, and then it came to me. It was a question of control. It was showing me we have no control. In fact, what happens, happens. And we can accept it or be unhappy about it, but it is there. The lesson about control is that the only control we really have in life is over our own reactions, over our emotions, over our thoughts. Our thoughts and emotions make up what will be either our divine self or our frightened ego. The ego has only two parts. It's either mad or it's sad because it's always afraid. And so the job for each of us, as we are ready, is to observe the ego and say, no, you are just a child, you are not me. The divine me is none of those things. The divine me is happy, optimistic, always knowing that things will be okay. The ego is always afraid or mad or sad. And so there is the control. It's inside of each one of us at all times. It was a powerful lesson to learn that we cannot control what anyone else thinks or does. It's up to them to learn their lessons. We can love them, we can have sympathy and compassion for them, but in fact, the only control is over our own hearts, our own minds, and our own positive feelings or our choice not to have them. So I realized I had been given another wonderful lesson from my angels, now about no control but acceptance. This is one of the great lessons for all of us. And the more that we accept and reach for our happy, joyful, positive self, then all things fall into place without any control. The more we let go of our frightened ego and choose to live in our joyful divine self, the happier we are. What an amazing lesson a little radio can teach us.